Okay, we're back. I had to clear out some space on the SD card. So hopefully I'm going to try to combine this to make it all one video. So let's finish this up. Okay, so let's look at station 4 here. Station 4, I didn't have any pre-rolled dice. So let's say we roll a, let's say a -2 and a -3. And then let's say, let's do this multiply by a -1/2. Let's say we have 4 and -1. Okay, so let's go up to the top for station 4. It looks like we're multiplying and dividing by some negatives here. And let's try to predict what will happen. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. So which one's larger, -2 or -3? If you said -3, that's the larger number, of course. So -2 is greater than -3. Now let's multiply by -3. So we've got -2 times -3 and -3 times -3. -2 times -3 is going to be 6. A negative times a negative gives us a positive. And a -3 times a -3 is going to be 9. Which one is larger out of those two, 6 or 9? Of course, 9. What happened to our symbol? It was greater than, became less than, so now it's reversed. And let's look at our next example, 4 and -1. My larger of the two is 4. Going with greater than again. Now let's multiply by a -1/2. So 4 times a -1/2, and then -1 times a -1/2. All right, so I'm going to multiply this. I'm going to put 4 over 1. And let's multiply straight across. 4 times -1 is -4. 1 times 2 is 2. -4 divided by 2, because our fraction bar here, it doubles as a, well, not doubles, it is a division symbol. So -4 divided by 2 is going to be -2. Let's pop our -1 over 1. So multiply straight across. -1 times -1 is 1. And 2 times 1, or 1 times 2, is 2. So this is going to be 1/2. Just going to bring that down because I just have my 2 steps here. Okay, so which one's bigger? -2 or 1/2? And of course, 1/2 is larger than -2 because it's on the positive end of things. So look what happened to our symbol. Started off as greater than, now it's less than, so it's reversed. All right, make a statement here. And I'm not going to write that one down. I want you to try to write that yourself in your notes. And we will take that or check it in class and try to model it just like we wrote here. We wrote all inequality symbols were reversed when multiplying by -1. All inequality symbols were preserved when multiplying and dividing by positive rational numbers. Then on our third page, we discovered, I want you to write down what we discovered. Okay, so, oh, didn't read this one. All inequalities were preserved when adding and subtracting integers. So you predict what goes at the bottom of page 84. Okay, so what we're going to do in class, we're going to look at this exercise and we'll discuss that in class today. And then take a break and focus on that exercise. Okay, to end this lesson, let's try to answer 2 questions. What does it mean for an inequality to be preserved? What does it mean for an inequality to be reversed? Let's take a minute and discuss that. Our next question we need to answer is, when does greater than become a less than? And we can do vice versa. When does a less than become a greater than? Let's take a minute and discuss that. Okay, here are our 2 answers. All right, what does it mean for an inequality to be preserved? What does it mean for an inequality to be reversed? Well, remember, preserved just means the symbol stays the same. It doesn't change. And of course, reversed being the opposite of preserved, that means that the symbol is going to flip directions. So reverse, just like reverse in Uno, symbol flips directions. All right. And when does a greater than become a less than, and vice versa? A symbol becomes greater than when we multiply or divide by something that's negative. Negatives are going to flip the signs of things. So we're going to answer this question, and you need to put this in your notes because this is very important. When does a greater than become a less than? When multiplying or dividing each side by a negative number. Why? Because negatives flips things. They change the script. They flip the script. Okay, make sure you ask me any questions about this, and we're going to tackle this exit ticket. And homework is going to be page S86. Please complete this on a separate sheet of paper. And stay tuned for lesson 13. Thank you.